Welcome everyone. I am Monirul and welcome to our another podcast episode. In this episode, we are going to talk about careers of a non-STEM graduate. It is one of the niche career perspective when we compare to like STEM graduates. Lots of people are coming as a software engineer, electrical engineer, or mechanical engineer, but we don't heard a lot. But today we have our guest, MD Showkot Ali, who is from a non-STEM graduate and non-STEM career path, and he is shining all over the places. So without further ado, I will ask Shaukat Ali to give us a short introduction about.
Thank you so much, Monirul, for having me in your show. And it's a very good morning from here in San Marcos, Texas. And my name, as you said, my name is MD Showkot Ali. And basically, I'm now doing my PhD in the developmental education at Texas State University. Before that, I did my master's degree in history at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and then I worked 1 year at an American high school. And before that, I did my bachelor and master's in Islamic history at the University of Dhaka, focusing in Islamic history.
That's great. You have achieved a lot and keep just pushing boundaries to like for newer and greater achievement. That's always pleasure to like hear from you. So my first question from you is that I can just share, like, I am from STEM background. When I was applying for graduate school in the US, I had lots of resources. I knew if I need to do the GRE or TOEFL IELTS and how to proceed from my undergrad to graduate school. Everything was publicly available from my point of view. What was the scenario for non-STEM graduates? Can you share your own experience?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question for me. So basically, I finished my master's degree in 2019, and that time I was thinking that I will not go for government job. And then I thought that, okay, maybe I can go for higher education because one of my cousin from chemistry department at Jahangirnagar University, he already went to United States and he was doing PhD in chemistry. And that time I thought that okay, I can also go to United States because I did a very good result in my bachelor and masters, and I am really interested in research particularly. But a lot of my friends, they discouraged me. They said that United States is all about science researches and nobody cares about your history or your Islamic history, and they discourage me. Though they know that I have interest in research and I have a good result, and even when I reached out to my cousin, he was saying that okay, if you want to come, you need to do your GRE, you need to do your IELTS, and then you can think about higher education. And then I have seen one of my friends from arts background. He got a funding, and he's from linguistics department. And then I reached out to him, and he said that oh, it's possible to get a funding to work as a graduate teaching assistant at American University. And as he got that funding, so he was saying that I can also get that kind of funding. Then I started, but I do the GRE first because everybody was saying that if you want to go to United States, you want to do the GRE. Even I did not search for university and their requirements because it was in Bangladesh you will not go for any website or any proper place to get your information. Rather than you will go to your friend or you will go to your big brothers or seniors. This is a whole culture. So I did my GRE and I did a very bad core score, and then I started searching the university, and then I have seen that most of the university, they are not like giving any kind of like care about GRE score. So I thought that why I'm doing GRE, why I'm so freaked out about having a very good GRE score. Then I did my IELTS, and then I applied. And fortunately, I got the graduate teaching assistant position. And one thing I would say that people say that in STEM background they have a lot of opportunity in getting admission, but I will say that in our field we have very limited opportunity. But at the same time, the application rate will be so small. So even, if you apply, maybe one or two international applicant will apply to the program. It's not like that a lot of students they will apply. So obviously there is a limited opportunity, but you will see very limited competition over there.
I do agree on that. Because when I was applying for my own graduate schools, yes, there are lots of openings, but there are like lots of application. The competition is real hard. I do because I was on the waiting list on several universities, but I never get called back from any of those, because those positions never opened up. It was filled instantly. So yeah, it's basically like I say like you did something like great because like you just kind of go with your gut health and what you thought best. That's really amazing. So now that you are here, how did you prepare for like your graduate school, or how do you manage everything? Because like I say that like I had all these guidelines. I knew what to expect when I'm coming here, like classes, exams, and projects and whatnot. So like, I knew. So like what was different for you?
Yeah, it was a little bit different, but there are so many things very similar to STEM background, and I also get most of my help from my STEM friends. When I came here, then I was thinking about like conference or going to conference and presenting my work, and I thought that it will be so difficult, and I don't have that much very formal research background back home, or I am not trained in qualitative or quantitative research. In back home, we are only trained to memorize the question and throwing up those answers in an exam hall. And after the examination, we are done. So we don't know how to do the research. When I came to the United States, then I came to know from one of my friend that we may have applied for research grant, and that is it's very available, and they are saying that, oh, it's very easy, you need to just have a proposal, so you don't have to finish your whole research. So if you apply, you may get. So then I also look for other format of the proposal. Then I followed it, and I get the grant. So even they are from STEM background, but their advice really helped me, motivated me that okay, if I try, I can also get the same opportunity like theirs.
Okay, now that we are talking about the money and grants, tell me about your experience about those scholarships, like the one that you're talking right now. Like what other scholarships are like available to you,
Mhm,
are available
mhm.
to you where you're in a graduate school, or something that is available across the state or across the whole country?
Mhm. Yeah, I did my master's in history, and people say that in history there should not be so many funds or grants. But when I came to the department, then I have seen some information that we have good travel funds. So, if you want to collect your documents from British Museum or like South Asian countries museum, so they will put you money, they will give you a lot of money up to like $5,000, so you can visit those countries and get your document. So then I planned that, oh, why don't I go back to Bangladesh in the summer, and then I can collect some document in our archives, our own country's archive. Then I go got around $3,000 that grant, and people don't know. Then next summer I went to Canada to present another paper, because in our department we have a lot of money that is that has been given for travel grant. And also I I use those grant, and also when I went for any conference, I also use those because these are all travel grant. So if I ask, I can get those money. So basically, I use those opportunity, and I did not know before that we have this opportunity in our department. Uh, so because we feel that okay, in history department maybe there is nothing opportunity out there.
Very interesting and very impressive, I'd say. So tell me a little bit more how you became aware of this like treasure trove that you can apply for this fund. Like, did you reach to your advisor or any professor? Like, what was the process so that our viewers can actually follow same type of guidance so that they can actually at least inquire about those kind of funds availability or not?
How do I get to know about this fund?
Yes, how did you get this like about information about these funds?
Okay, yeah, in our department, sometimes our supervisor also mention about we have a grant, so you can apply. So you are working a topic which is related to others country, like maybe India or England. So they need us to visit those country, and this is the requirement. So for historical research. So, for an example, I was working a bit about the relationship between United States and Bangladesh. So there are some resources which has been stored in United States, so I can have easy access of those documents. But for Bangladesh part, so I need to go back to Bangladesh, and they said that okay, we have travel document and you can navigate. And they also provided me some links from their website. Then I read through all the documents, and they have also some sample proposal in those websites. So I just look at those sample proposal and then just follow their path and got the fund.
So it's basically like you have to ask people, right?
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
ask people, even if they don't know the answer, they might point you to who may know the answer. That's good.
Mhm.
So moving forward, like we are here, we are getting funds, but we are also closing to our graduation. So now what should I do?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question for me because I graduated, then I was looking for job, and in our field, if you want to become a university professor, then you need to do your PhD. And most of the history graduate, they will follow this path, and they don't even think that they may have opportunity doing job after their master's degree. But my all of my professor they are saying that okay, you need to go to a PhD because they don't think that I can also do a job at high school. They are thinking that okay, you did your masters, you are not supposed to go to high school to teach for your lifetime because they will pay you only $50,000 or $60,000. Maybe at your promotion. After the promotion, you will get like $60,000, but they don't know that $60,000 is good enough for me. All I'm asking maybe $50,000, $60,000. I'm not asking about 100K. I didn't come from a STEM background, so my dream is not like that. But they are like imposing their dreams that okay, I can go to a PhD and then I can do the PhD and join the academia at university level. So they did not like give me that advice that I can go to high school and teach. Then I came to know that many high school in the United States they need teacher, and maybe more than 100K lacking of high school teachers in this country. So they are looking for teachers, and some of the American high school, they are offering H1B, and they don't know how to do H1B. But you need to provide those information to the high school that, okay, I can continue my work, you need to sponsor me, and it will cost around like $5,000, then they will do that because they are not getting enough teachers. And if you became a good teacher, and if you are happy with this $50,000, then they can sponsor you, and this is the automatically you will be granted with H1B. So you need to provide information to them, and also you need to get the information how to get a job at high school, because there is so many opportunity in American high school.
I would summarize that like sky is the limit. You can
Mhm.
go to the high school, you can go to the colleges, or you can go to the universities. Oh, that's really great. So that's
Yeah, if you don't want to do PhD, and if you want to do a job after your masters, then you can go to high school. But you can always do a PhD, and then you can also even if you do a job at a high school, then you can do your PhD, and they will sponsor you for doing the like PhD things. So you can earn money at the same time you are doing the degree and having the whole lots of experience. So
nice. So my question to you is that how do you differentiate your life when you are doing masters at Omaha and
mhm.
you are doing your PhD in Texas, like the
Oh,
academic setup?
okay. I may also talk about other non-academic stuff. Okay, just kidding. For having a US degree, it's really helped me to uh, do my PhD, because I already know how the academia works, and how to do all the assignment. But as you know, that I have changed my career path from history to developmental education. So I am more going from arts background to more social science background. And also I am more focusing on quantitative research. So as you know that a lot of people may think that I cannot change my background. I cannot go from non-STEM to STEM background. So basically, I am turning my non-STEM career to STEM career right now, because I am now doing education research, and there is two scope. Then you can do very much quantitative research. And what I am now doing, I am taking courses in statistics. So in throughout my PhD, I can take around four courses in statistics. So in future, if I want, I can take a degree in educational technology or educational data science if I fill up their requirement. So there is a possibility. That's why I am now more focusing on quantitative research, and maybe in future I will take like three, four more courses in my area, statistics or data science. Then I can take a master's degree from here. So there is an opportunity. And also when you will work in a quantitative approach, I have seen that there is so many grants we can apply, even from NSF grant, because they are working in STEM education. So I'm not now doing my masters in STEM subject, but I'm now doing my research in STEM education. So basically, I'm doing research in education, but focusing on STEM subject. And that's why we can apply grant from NSF. And one of my professors recently, they got $3 million NSF grant um, for doing STEM education research. So you can always like turning your degree to a particular field, which you are understanding that there might be more opportunity. So it's not like that you came as a non-STEM background, you need to be non-STEM for lifetime.
Mhm.
So you can training your, and from Nebraska uh, experience, I'm helping to ask a lot of questions to my professor and other department, and navigating more opportunity, and how to like broaden my opportunity. So That's what I'm doing here at Texas State.
Okay, so we are really close to like our time. So before we actually finish this podcast, I just have one question. I would, so what one advice that you wish someone had given you before you started all this journey that would have made your journey much more smoother? Like you have like 30 seconds or 60 seconds to like answer that question.
Yeah, I think I would say that you need to know your you need to know what you are going to do. You need to have very clear idea even when you are starting your career. So for my example, I was thinking that I will do research, but back home I am not trained with any kind of research. So if I have very preliminary experience in research, or if I did some sort of research back home, probably I can have more publication here, and my other career goal could be more like practical, rather than start everything as a new research student in the United States. So I would say that you need to know if you want to do a researcher, so you need to know what should you do for meeting those goals. Or if you want to be a businessman, you need to know how to like do the business. Like very early stage, you need to be very honest with these basic things. Like you are dreaming something and you are doing something else. That will not be very helpful to meet your goals. So basically, just ask yourself what you want to do and what is your preparation at an early age. I'm not saying that you will be expert by 1 year, but at least you know that how to do those things, like when you will step in this country. So you don't have to navigate as a child. What should I do? What shouldn't I do?
Okay, great advice, great advice. And that's viewer brings us to the like our end of our podcast. If you enjoyed our podcast or if you get benefited from any of the information that we discussed in this session, we'd really appreciate if you just like, share, and comment onto this video. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.